Buongiorno, everybody. Got a little treat for you all today. Today we're going to have some fun. I'm going to make a drink and we're going to make an appetizer. So we're going to start out, because we have the holidays coming up, so I'm going to start doing some things that are appropriate for the holidays or for anytime there's something going on, a party, and even just Sunday dinner. I've brought it up before, and I'll probably bring it up many more times in the future, but Italians drink with purpose, and so today we're going to make an aperitivo, which actually I made back in the spring when I did a happy hour and talked about how Italians drink. I'm doing this on a Tuesday. This is not a Friday evening happy hour, but I'm hoping that you'll be able to use this for the holidays. So what I want to introduce you to is a typical before dinner drink. Now, before dinner drinks are called aperitivos. They are so it derives from the Latin word for open, or in Italian, apri, which means to open. So it's opening your stomach. I like the way one time somebody described it to me in Italian. It prepares your stomach to receive food. But basically it gets the digestive juices flowing. Most of your before dinner drinks are not very sweet because you don't want to overfill yourself already. They usually tend to be bitter. So this drink, called the Americano, was actually, I think, created in 1860. And originally it was called a Milano Torino because it's made with Campari, which is very bitter, which is originally from Milano, and vermouth, which is sweet vermouth, which is more along the lines of a Torino type drink, as they said. So it was something that they created and it was become very popular. So at the turn of the century, 1900s, it became popular with the American tourists. So they turned it into the Americano as the name of it. But the reason Americans tended to like this drink more, because it was a little sweeter. A lot of Italians don't do a lot of mixed drinks like we do here. They might mix a little bit of wine or Prosecco or a little bit of like club soda. Something very simple. They tend to drink things more simply than we do. Campari is very bitter, and a Campari and soda, which is a typical drink, is way too bitter for our American palate. We tend to like things sweeter and more robust. So the sweet vermouth kind of tames it a little and makes it more palatable. But if you get used to the bitterness of having something like this before dinner or after dinner as your aperitivo or your digestivo, which is your digestive, helps you digest after dinner, this is a good segue into getting used to more bitter flavors. So all it is a shot and a half of each. It's equal parts. So you can do smaller or larger. So it's equal parts Campari. So I'm gonna another drop in there because I like these. This will be my before dinner drink today. So Campari, and this is this is sweet vermouth, red vermouth, and Martini and Rossi. So in Italy they call this martini. They don't call it vermouth. But anyway, I don't know what the. All right, so there we go. Equal parts of those two. And what I'm going to show you is this. You can use the club soda, which is the typical Americano. But when I made this for somebody one time, it was still a little club soda. Was still a little too bitter for them. Hold on, let me finish making this. I'll tell you what I did. So, what you're supposed to do with this is put a nice orange twist in it. Okay, and just put that in there, and voila, you have an Americano. Salute. See, I like it. I didn't used to. So what I've come up with, I'm going to call this, what should we call it? The dorinaskitchen. What I did was I made this same drink for somebody who it was just too bitter for, And what I did was I used a little bit of the Pellegrino soda, the fruit soda, just, you know, just a little shot's worth, but it's a little bit sweeter, still has the fizzy of the Pellegrino. And it just gave it one more little jump of sweet. Very nice flavored as well, not too sweet. So if you want to do something like this, if you want to try it and it's still a little much for you, try using a little bit of one of these fruit sodas and give everybody a little splash on theirs, and you can try it that way too. That's not a typical, that's a me thing, but I just thought I would share that with you. I'm not going to open this right now because I like it the way it is. But these are very nice. Let me stir that up a little bit more. There we go. But it's a very nice drink, and it's very pretty. It's a reddish, orangey, reddish kind of color with the orange slice in it. It's really nice. Yum. Okay, so that's our before dinner drink. So when we're having our appetizers, and this is a nice thing to stimulate your appetite, we're going to have a little appetizer. So what I'm going to show you today is a quick little, oh, my dog is choking. Are you choking? Oh no, I think she was sneezing. Anyway, fur balls. What we're gonna make is some zucchini and some greens, but we're gonna make what we call polpette, which are just little, basically they're fritters, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start with, so I made some fresh breadcrumbs here in my food processor. So I've got some right here, and actually, I'm not going to make a huge batch. So what I'm going to do is, what you start with is a few eggs. You can start with the eggs, start with the breadcrumbs, depending what you have less of. If you have less eggs, start with your eggs and you put in just enough breadcrumbs for the eggs. If you need more, then you're messed up. And if you only have a certain number of breadcrumbs, start with that and put in as many eggs as you need. So we're going to start with 3 eggs. We're not going to make a huge amount right now. This is just a little appetizer for 3 of us. I usually do these, no joke, a dozen eggs at a time. You know, we have big fancy spoons, we have whisks, we have all that stuff, and sometimes a fork is all you need. I'm just going to beat these a little bit. We're going to put in a little bit of fresh parsley and a little bit of fresh chopped onion. So I'm going to set those there aside for a second. Boop. I mean onion, listen to me. Garlic. So you can put the garlic in through your garlic press, or you can just finely chop some pieces. You don't need a whole lot, just enough. So with the 3 eggs, probably 1 or 2 cloves at the most, depending how big they are. These are actually pretty big, so I'm actually just going to put 1 big clove chopped up. So I'm just going to slice it up a few times and then just chop it up into little pieces. And like I said, you can use your garlic press for this if you want, and then it's all nice and teeny, and then or you could do it this way. You can also do it the way my grandmother did in her hands, just cross-hatching, cutting little teeny weeny pieces. But this works for me. All right, so I've got 1 little clove of garlic, well, medium-sized clove of garlic. Okay, so I've got parsley, garlic. So see, we got these nice parsleyed and garlicked eggs. And then we're going to put in some breadcrumbs. What did I put them right in front of me? Let's put in some breadcrumbs. And a little bit of cheese, grated Romano cheese. But the important thing, you can do these just like this. Just with these ingredients, and you have a plain, simple polpette. But this time, we're going to put in some vegetable. We're going to shred a zucchini. Just got this nice little one here, since I'm only doing 3 eggs. Okay, almost there. Glad I'm doing a small one. Okay, no thumbs grated. That's good. All right, so we've got a nice little pile here. See? And we're gonna just dump that in. Get all this out from the inside. Set that aside for a minute and get all these pieces here. Doesn't matter what order you put this stuff in here. You may want to save your breadcrumbs for last. I didn't put too many in yet because I wanted to get the zucchini in. And then just mix this up. See how pretty it is? Nice little, now it's a little too wet, so I'm gonna add just a little bit of breadcrumbs. Now this does, once the the breadcrumbs will soak up, so be careful not to put too much to start with because it will dry out as you go. You can tell by the spoonful. It's a little, just a little more. It does work best if you make your own breadcrumbs. Do not use those dry, sandy breadcrumbs that come in a can from the grocery store. It's like sand. Doesn't absorb anything. It's all crap. Make your own. Save your ends of your bread. You know, as they say, save the culo. Well, actually, we like to eat that, but sometimes if it dries out, you don't want it. Even on your American bread or your whole wheat bread or your whole grain bread, doesn't matter what bread. Okay, so this is nice. So basically what you want is something that makes a solid spoonful, and it comes off, but it's kind of solid. Oops, forgot something. Gotta add just a pinch of salt and pepper. I like pepper. Now, as far as salt is concerned, you don't want to go too much because we put cheese in it. So I'm not gonna, maybe I just put a little extra cheese just to ensure that it's got enough salt in it without putting salt in it. And you can never have too much cheese. There we go. As long as you can smell the cheese, you're good. Okay. Oh, boom. Okay, there we go. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take a nice little kind of oval spoonful here. Now you can do it with one spoon. You can, you know, make them, if you want to make them really pretty, just use the 2 spoons to kind of shape it. Got a nice little spoonful. We're going to drop it in the hot oil. So I have sunflower oil here that I had already heated up. It's on, like, I got it really nice and hot, then I turned it to like a medium. And now I'm just, oh, it's getting so beautiful golden. Now I just turn it over. When it's nice and golden, I'm going to show you what it looks like. Let's see here. I love these. Tongs are always nice. They actually turn over better. When you're turning them, a fork works the best. Okay. So these are actually coming out absolutely 100% perfect. You want them to be a beautiful golden. Now, there's 2 things you can do with these. You can cook them a little crisper. and have them like finger food as an appetizer. And you can keep them like this where they're just, actually this is perfect. You can take them like this so you've got this nice golden, beautiful, let me see if I can pick it up without, you see it. And you drop these in a thin tomato sauce. Nice big pot of a thin, not too thick and, you know, like a more like a, almost like a watery sauce, because these kind of really absorb the tomato sauce. And oh my God, they're like sponges. But with the zucchini in them, they're really nice, and you can make a nice appetizer out of them. And these you can make them smaller, you know, this is a nice size. I'm gonna wait a second, it's a little hot, but I'm gonna make a couple more here. So we make these, this I learned in my hometown in Italy. In Roseto, we make polpette. Usually the typical is plain. It's the breadcrumbs, the eggs, the cheese, the garlic, and the parsley. A pinch of salt and pepper. But look at this, 3 eggs is making probably, let's see, we'll do this one batch. These are, you know, tablespoon size. You can make them a little bigger or smaller, however you like. You can make them more round or more flat. It's really very personal. Everybody I know in town makes them a smidge different. Now you don't want to overcrowd your pan though. Give them some space. Now, one of the other things I brought out, which I'm not going to do right now, is you can also do this with any other vegetable. You can use zucchini. You can use yellow squash, which I have right here in front of me. You could use pumpkin. I'm all pumpkin-y this year. Or, you know, the winter squash. Puree a little bit of it, mix it in. You can also use greens, verdure, which is verdura in Italian, they tend to use for vegetables, but it also means your greens. So what you could do with these, this is chopped Swiss chard. You could quickly wilt this, blanch it in hot water, or you can saute it very quickly just so that it wilts down with a little bit of garlic just to give it a little flavor. And then you mix that in instead. Very nice. My friend Rosaria, who runs one of the bars in my village, she showed me, the first time I had the ones with the greens, she made them for me. They were delish. So now I do those too. Okay, those are coming out nice. Now you're gonna notice after you make 1 or 2 rounds of these that the oil gets bubbly, because you know the egg gets in there and it kind of gets yucky. And they will cook out some of the oil because it absorbs a little bit. But if you have the right temperature oil, they will cook quickly and they will not be greasy. This thing is so not greasy at all. Oh. Oh my God, so good. Perfect amount of cheese. So, I pushed this to the lower burner, but I think they're still cooking fast enough. And if you make them kind of fat, you got to make sure that you get them cooked all the way through. Let's see. I'm going to pull this to the hotter burner for a second. Flavor is amazing. Oh, and goes so nicely with a little aperitivo. I know it's a little early on the East Coast. It's not quite lunchtime yet, but this is a before lunch. You know, I've been up since 5:30, so it's a good time. Boy, that's good. Okay. There we go. Flip those babies over. So usually I prefer doing it in a frying pan than in a bigger pot with oil. You don't need that much and you waste less this way. And then like I said, 1 or 2 or 3 rounds, I'll take a spoon and kind of scoop off the foamy part and get 1 more round out of it. But if you're making like 12 eggs like I'm doing, I usually change my oil once. Sometimes, depending on how much, sometimes they're bigger eggs. Once or twice I'll change my oil. That's why I prefer the frying pan, because I'm not using as much oil. It's flat. I get more of them done at once. Here we go. Oh my gosh, so light. When your oil's the right temperature, and I don't know the temperature, you want it nice and hot. Just when it starts to smoke a little, turn it down. And you want them to sizzle, because the sooner they sizzle, that means it is making that crust very quickly. And then, you're not getting oil soaking into these things. Yeah. So I have just enough batter to make just like 2 or 3 more here. So I might as well finish them while we do our last thing. Let these cook. Little egg, stirring it up here. Okay. 1, 2, and get every little last breadcrumb out. Because look, that makes 1 more whole peck. Boop. There we go. Good, then there we go. All set. Let me move this aside. And those, as soon as I put them in, you can see it cooking up over the bottom. So what we have now is a very nice little appetizer to go with our before dinner drink. Hold on, you know, gotta clean my surface because, there we go. And my little appetizer. Oh, and this is a very nice little thing to have on the counter. Now, these are something you can make ahead of time. Put them on a rack so that they kind of dry out and don't get soggy. And then you can put them in a nice basket or a bowl and enjoy them and snack on them before dinner. Or you can put them in sauce, or you can have them as part of your dinner as a side dish. Oh, okay. I was trying to grab one of the first ones that I pulled out so it'd be cooler. I think I got one of the last ones. Well, I guess I gotta, you know, cool it off with a little ice. So, let's turn these over real quick. Now, after dinner, you want to have a digestivo. And what's fun about a digestive is it actually works, makes you feel better, and allows you to enjoy the rest of your evening so much nicer. So, I brought out these cute little glasses. I love shot glasses. And hold on, let me take these little babies out because these cooked a little faster because I turned the oil up. Yeah, they're done. Move these over so I don't mix up the hot ones with the good temperature ones. Boop. Plus they cooked quicker because there was only 3 in the pan. Okay, so those are right there. So, excuse me. So I've got these cute little shot glasses. I love a stem shot glass. I don't know why. These are adorable. Aren't they cute? This one belonged to my great-grandmother. Look how teeny tiny it is, but it's just enough. So after dinner in Italy, you tend not to have a mixed drink. They tend to have everything, as they say, neat, just the way it is. So I'm going to show you my favorite after dinner drink, which I did not take out yet because it stays in the freezer. This is called Amaro del Capo. It's my favorite. And you can get it here in the States. The first couple bottles I brought home with me from Italy because I was like, I don't know if I can get this at home. First time I had it, I didn't like it. But you have just a shot of this and you sip it. I'm going to pour it in my little teeny glass because I really don't want to be drinking too much right now. But, you know, you would have probably one of these ones or just even this little bit. But you just take it and you enjoy it. This stuff is made with 29 herbs and spices. So the purpose of a digestive is to help you, it aids in your digestion, helps you digest. And it really, I swear, it really does work. I'm swearing my left hand, right hand, really does work. It does, it just kind of goes down, you feel the warmth, it's so relaxing. You're not drinking to get, and you know, you've just eaten, so you're not getting drunk from this stuff. You've got a stomach full of food, which of course chemically, there's chemical reactions that actually helps you, helps keep you from getting drunk. But these things are good. And it's an acquired taste. Some people love it right on the start, but I didn't like it when I first had it. It was a little too, almost too bittery, I don't know, tangy something for me. But then somebody bought me one. I was like, oh, I had to drink it. Somebody bought me another one. Oh, come on, I don't, but I was drinking it because I was being polite. And now I love it. So I always have a bottle or two of this hanging around. So anyway, so before dinner, so Thanksgiving, have something like this made ahead of time because you know how it is when you start cooking. You have nothing to eat in the house. All you have is the stuff that's for the main dinner. So I tend to make something that is good for snacking on it at breakfast time. So I don't have to make breakfast because I'm busy cooking Thanksgiving dinner or any other holiday dinner. So I actually have a great scone recipe I'm going to show you guys tomorrow. But that's what I make because I make them and I freeze them, but I'll explain that later. So I have that in the morning. Make something like this. You can make them the day before and you can have them fried like this. They last, put them in a not sealed container because then they'll get soggy. Something like with a plate on top or something. And this is a great before dinner snack when everybody's running around saying, when are we eating? When are we eating? You have a little antipasto out. Maybe cut some little meats and cheeses, have a couple polpette and a couple of drinks. And it shuts everybody up, makes everybody happy because they're having a little drink with their aperitivo and aperitivi. These are actually before dinner things, so they call these, you go to a bar there and it's all aperitivi. It's little savory snacks and these kind of before dinner drinks. So that's that for today. So actually, let me see how much time I have. Oh, I have a couple minutes. So I'm going to take you over to my table because I wanted to explain something to you. I'm gonna eat this while we go. So what I'd like to explain to you right now is how I prepare for holiday meals. And I'm hoping that this helps you prepare for your holiday meals. So a lot of people get nervous. And this year especially, we're having a lot of smaller dinners. So this is a great time to practice. If you're not used to having like big meals, but you would like to, and it makes you nervous, perfect time to practice. We're gonna call this year Practice for Bigger Parties. I know a lot of people are having, 6, 7, 8 people, keeping it immediate family, maybe one person, one other family member. We're just having, yes, we're having a few more than the recommended 10 people because we are 8 already and a couple of girlfriends. So that's all. And my dad, I think. I hope. He's like the wind. I never know if he's coming or not, but anyway. So we're going to have just immediate family. And so for me, it's normal, but for you guys, I know, even 10 people, some people are used to only cooking for 4. So let's make this an easier holiday. So first thing you do is make your menu, okay? List your things. So I made an example menu. This is not necessarily what my menu is going to be, but it might be something close to this. Last year, actually, I didn't do a turkey. I did turkey cutlets, and I'm telling you, it tasted so much better than a turkey. It took a little more time because I had to stand there and cook the turkey cutlets. A little more me standing time, as opposed to just throwing it in the oven. But, my 2 boys that are in the military were both away for the last, one of them was away for 2 Thanksgivings, and one was away for 1, and I just had a request, please make a turkey. I'm like, all right. So I'm making a small turkey. Of course, got to make stuffing. And I, of course, am making either lasagna or ravioli. I've got requests for both, so I got to see which one, who wins. I'm still going to make some turkey cutlets. I'm making stuffed zucchini, stuffed mushrooms, mashed potatoes, sweet potatoes, a few other things. I'm not sure what yet. But anyway, so here I've got a sample menu. So the next thing you do is you break down each dish with their ingredients. So for example, the turkey. Okay, turkey and whatever manner I'm deciding that I'm gonna season it. Sometimes I do a citrus, sometimes I do kind of more garlic and savory. So I'm not sure yet, but write down each thing you're gonna need to season your turkey. My stuffing. Okay, so here's the one I'm gonna give you the example of. I'm gonna use the stuffing as the example. My stuffing, of course, I use my homemade breadcrumbs, big kind of breadcrumbs. I do not buy that stuffing mix crap. That's crap. Okay? Just it's crap. Just make your own. Just buy the good kind of bread you like, some good Italian loaf, cut it up into cubes or make it breadcrumbs, whichever way you prefer to do your stuffing, and have it ready. Okay? So, well, let me come back to that. So I need bread, I need Italian sausage, I need apples, I need applesauce, I need celery, I need chestnuts, and I need parsley. Those are and then of course the Romano cheese. Did I say that? No, I didn't. Anyway, so now I have the list broken down of what I need. So now I go check it off. Well, I already have the Romano. I have the applesauce because I made some this week. I have apples and I have Italian sausage in the freezer. So all I need to buy, so now I'm going to I break down each dish like this and make the list of the ingredients of each dish. Then I make my grocery list. So I check off the things I have, and then I say, okay, I need more Italian bread, I need celery, I need parsley, because I'm out of fresh parsley now, I just finished it up, and I need chestnuts. So that's how I start to make my grocery list. That way, I know exactly, when I go to the grocery store, there's no forgetting anything. Once I do this list, I even plan out what pots and pans I need. Okay, so now I'm making pies. Am I giving any away? If I'm not giving any away, I make them all in my own pie dishes. But if I'm giving any away, do I need aluminum pie pans? Because that makes it easier than having to worry about getting my dishes back. And stuff like that. So I make sure I plan ahead which pans I need for each thing so that I know where they are. I might get them out, you know. I need my lasagna dishes. I need my baking dish for my stuffed mushrooms, but I need an extra one because of course I need to have backup because we like those cold out of the refrigerator the next day. So these are the things that you do. It makes doing a holiday meal for more than what you're used to doing because you're making more dishes and usually for more people. So menu, break down each dish into ingredients, and then you make your grocery list, okay? That's your start. From there, then I backtrack from the day of. So the day of, I want to put the turkey in the oven that morning. So the stuffing, do I need to do the stuffing that day? No, I can make the stuffing the day before and put it in the refrigerator and just heat it up. Obviously the pasta dishes, the lasagna or the ravioli. Ravioli, actually, it's nice making those even the week before. I put them on cookie sheets, I throw them in the freezer and flash freeze them. Then I put them in freezer bags and I put them in and keep them in the freezer. And then I just dump them in the boiling water. And I'm telling you, they tend to stay together a little better, you know, because ravioli because I like to make them a little bit thinner than you do when you buy commercial ones, and because they just melt in your mouth like that. So I like to make them a little bit, just a smidge thinner, the pasta. So if they're fresh and you put them in the water, sometimes they, you know, they break open, of course, then I have to pull it out and eat it, you know, but anyway, so stuff like that. A lasagna, you can make it and freeze it, and then it can heat up in the oven. You know, you can take it out to defrost the day before, put it in the refrigerator, and then it heats up faster. So there's a lot of little tricks that you can do, but go back. So you start from the day of and figure out what you have to do last. Like, for example, I don't like cutting my lettuce a day before because then it gets brown. So my salad, I have to do the day of, but I can cut the red peppers and have the, you know, wash the tomatoes, have the lettuce washed. So that kind of stuff you can do the day before. Wash all your vegetables. So all you got to do is chop it and put it in, or, you know, in the salad. You know, let's see, what else did I have here? Mashed potatoes. You know, you can peel the potatoes the day before and soak them, put them in a bowl of water and put them in the refrigerator, and they actually come out nicer. Let's see what else. My stuffed mushrooms, those, you know, I can make those the day before too, and I can either just form them, put them on in the platter and put them in the fridge and bake them the next day, or I can just bake them almost all the way because they don't take very long. I can get them started though, and then put them in the oven that day. So there's a lot of little things you can do to make your life easier. But like I said, figure out what you got to make the day of, like the turkey and the salad and the warming up. But then the things that you can prep ahead of time, anything that you can freeze, you can do a week ahead of time. And then the day of is just so easy, just taking things in and out of the oven. Piece of cake, or maybe I should say piece of pie. Anyway, all right, so that's my tips for today to make your time around the table easier. If you have any questions or any suggestions, throw them in the chat here. Please say hello if you're watching. Especially if you're watching for the first time. I think I saw a name I didn't recognize, so that's kind of cool. I always love that. And then that's it. So enjoy your time around the table. So this next week now, we're going to be doing stuff that's going to prep us, give you some suggestions and ideas and just little side dishes and things like that coming into for the holiday. Okay? So I will talk to you guys later. Mwah! Have a wonderful day. And please don't forget, if you're not already subscribed to my YouTube channel, please go to youtube.com/dorinaskitchen and subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to reach 1,000 before the end of the year. I was trying to do it before the end of the summer, but I got a little lazy because I moved. And I've been emptying boxes for 2 months, but I'm almost done. So anyway, have a great day. Ciao.